are a lot of plans on how to get to Mars in a decent amount of time and to start colonizing it as soon as possible. To the extent that if the plans work, and everything goes as it should, we could be living on Mars in a certain capacity by the end of the decade.
Hey there guys, what's going on, and welcome back to our channel. From being a third world country, the mention of colonization is enough to tick me off. But when it comes to the moon, colonization might be different from what it was on the Earth and fellow human beings. And will we be able to colonize the moon even? Here is how humans will colonize the moon by 2025. The moon or Mars? SpaceX has got people excited about Mars, and they're all interested in going on vacations to Mars. But wait a minute, don't we have another celestial body right next to us that only takes about 8 hours to reach and is also seen as a potential human colony? That's right, the moon. NASA scientists say that the moon in the long term could be helpful to us in terms of colonizing on Mars. They said it would serve as a blueprint for our plans on Mars. Although the moon is very different from Mars, there are some things we need to consider besides it.
The moon is the obvious target for manned spaceflight. It's nearby, trips take only 3 days, and missions were done in the 60s, which means we certainly have the tech for it. And NASA and the US government are already funding a return to the moon.
The search for resources. The moon has several resources to offer, from platinum and gold to titanium. However, life on the moon isn't possible without water. Though the water was found on the moon back in 2009, another speculation suggests that the moon was part of the Earth that was struck by a meteor and got torn away from the Earth's body. Thus, underneath those depths of dust, there is water. The Artemis mission headed by NASA will spend their time searching for water. The Shackleton crater on the moon is chosen to be the place for a lunar base camp. It's about 12 miles wide and 2 miles deep, and is said to have ice water inside. The presence of water on the lunar base can be helpful in more than obvious ways. We know that by splitting oxygen and hydrogen from the water molecule, we get rocket fuel. The moon can then be used as a fuel station for spaceships heading over to Mars, and can land on the moon for fuel rather than the Earth.
It's a treasure chest of valuable resources like gold, platinum, and other rare earth metals. But that's not all. Water is a valuable resource when it comes to any kind of off-world exploration.
Human landing and space stations. Different space organizations came together to make the International Space Station work. Today, it's a habitual artificial satellite that's playing a major part in research and spatial discovery. Similarly, the moon is also being looked at as an international space station for research purposes. It was said to be the successor of the ISS and still is. NASA's Artemis program has 4 phases to its mission. These phases are vital to the establishment of a lunar base.
In the EMU, the spacesuit was probably physically the most challenging thing I've done here. It's a pressurized suit. You're working with gloves that don't exactly fit you very well.
The Artemis mission. NASA's Artemis mission will land the first woman and the first man of color on the moon. It'll be the next team after the Apollo in 1972. It's in collaboration with SpaceX. This company is set to use the Space Launch System rocket known as the Orion spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft is meant to orbit the moon and the human landing system. This spacecraft will be sent into space in the first phase to test it without any human presence. The second Artemis mission will fly to the moon in the spacecraft and test its credibility to sustain human life for long periods on the moon. They will orbit the moon for 4 days, being the final preparatory mission for the landing of the moon. The next Artemis flight will land astronauts on the lunar surface. NASA has chosen 3 companies to carry out the human landing system on the moon. It includes Blue Origin's Integrated Lander Vehicle, Dynetics Operations ULA Vulcan Launch System, and SpaceX's Lunar Lander Starship. Although this is just the beginning of humans landing on the lunar surface, this will be the start of lunar colonization.
Getting through that part of it is, I think, for most of us, pretty challenging. Year after year, working hard to be assignable to a space flight and then actually getting one it is, I think for me, was psychologically the most challenging thing.
So do let us know what you guys have to think about all of this in the comments down below. Whatever your thoughts are, be sure to leave a like to this video to help support our channel, and if you want more content like this going forward, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and do remember to hit that bell icon so you can be notified of the latest updates going forward. With all that out of the way, I'll catch you guys later in another video. Bye now.